What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hot Makes. Another Monday night. How you doing, Caleb?
How did I get here? I have no idea what just happened. One second I was hanging out, thawing the chicken, and the next second I'm here.
You're always thawing the chicken. That's
It's always frozen. That's the problem. We actually we had that happen last night. We were about to make enchiladas, and we were like, oh, we have plenty of chicken at home, but it's all frozen and it's not going to thaw in time. So we went and bought more chicken. Always frozen.
That is hilarious. We went to a Mexican restaurant last night. We had a lot of fun. My little guy's very first mariachi. Huh? That was so much fun.
What?
Yeah,
it was his first
mariachi there, and they came over and they
like a band.
Like a band.
Okay, they were just all right. That's cool. That's awesome.
like a whole mariachi band. It was crazy.
There's a mariachi band, but then what you just said was there was a mariachi there.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is a mariachi?
That's what we call a mariachi band. It's just a mariachi.
Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Justin just brought something up. I'll be right back.
Well, I guess we're alone. My name is Jim. I'm from the Edge of Tech, here affectionately known as Nerdy J on this show. So welcome. If you haven't checked out my channel, shameless plug, go check out the Edge of Tech. You got to do it. We have a lot of fun today. We have an awesome guest. We'll get to Sam very quickly here.
I'm pretty excited.
And apparently, oh yeah, you can't forget the you covered up tripod though. How dare you?
Well, I didn't take tripod off at least.
Is there one way you could have like one of the legs coming down from
Just
the hat?
One of them? There we go.
Yeah. Well, that isn't that the one with the
it's
pump?
Still tripod.
Yeah, there you go. Now it's tripod. I don't even know if tripod's here, but we're giving him a hard time.
This dude's having a hard time up here. Anyway, so Justin gave this to me. The camera is mirrored, so I can't figure out how to line this up for the life of me.
Nice.
Anyway,
while you're doing that, there you go.
Oh, look, it's a mariachi. One singular mariachi.
There you go. And he was just like, not sure what to do. The chicken dance, right?
Chicken dance.
Yeah. So
that's fantastic.
You gotta make it. And right before that, they played Tequila. And it was amazing. Yeah. It was awesome. Tyler West is here. Onlyleg.com. Yeah, I bet you that's where Tripod is. He's probably making content for onlyleg.com. You were off doing something different when we discovered that website, when Tripod.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But a lot of fun. Was last week? No, the week before. Yeah, the week before. I can't even remember what weeks it is now. We were at the Midwest Rep Festival.
No, we weren't.
I'm sorry. Rocky Mountain Rep Festival. I don't even know where I am right now. That's the problem. It was a ton of fun. A ton of people. I think they brought in a little over 4,000 people through the doors. Not to mention,
wasn't it like 4,600 or something? Justin's in the chat.
I thought it was like 4,000.
It was a lot.
Yeah. Rocket Night. I'm not sure.
It was more than one mariachi.
There was one mariachi. We had a ton of fun. We had a ton of people. 4,000 people doesn't include. I don't think includes the vendors and the people displaying their stuff and that kind of thing. So, there you go. So
okay, yeah. So 46 wasn't too far off. Yeah, there were 46 butts.
New Dan was there. Zombie was there.
New Dan was there.
A ton of people were there. It was a lot of fun, and we have some hot makes from the show. We'll bring that up in a little while when we do hot makes.
And speaking of Zombie, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you, because we very last minute we were having issues with the internet and how we were going to do hot makes live at the event and all this stuff, and we just walked up to Zombie's booth and we were like, hey, we go live in like 10 minutes. Are you still willing to help us? And he was like, yeah, sure.
Sure.
Yeah. And then he followed us around the whole time.
Yeah.
I can't thank this guy enough.
Austin is an amazing human. That's all I have to say. And his tool changer is freaking awesome. So if you haven't seen it,
we got some good B-roll of that, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah. New Dan was there. That's right. I was there, didn't get a chance to meet Caleb. Haha. Sucker.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
wow.
I don't even know.
She was there, and I kept seeing these people with the pin, the mountain with the smiley face, and I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, that's cute, but like I didn't put two and two together that would have been Karen. And then she posted that she was at the event after I already got back to Little Rock, and I'm like, are you kidding me? You were there the whole time.
Yeah.
And those were yours. I kept seeing them on people, and I never even thought to. It was a busy weekend.
It was. I'm trying to remember.
But I'm real upset about that. Karen, we're gonna meet each other someday. I'm upset.
I think I have like show and tell stuff, but we can talk about that later. We got an awesome guest with us. I don't want to keep him waiting too long because it's super late for him.
That's true.
Currently. True. So 2 + 2 equals.
I told him 10 minutes tops, and here we are 10 minutes in.
Andrew Rogers, the only council member that showed up.
That means you're the new leader.
Yeah.
You're the king.
You're president now. I may or may not have one. Huh? That's right.
I'm jealous.
Only 11 months. Oh man, we have to deal with like the next two.
If you're tripod, it's only 1 month.
Month and a half, yeah. But yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. And highly suggested. So I know the next one coming up is the Midwest Rep Festival. That'll be at the end towards the end of June. I'd have to look at my calendar. I don't even remember what dates are anymore. I think it's like the second to the last weekend of June this time.
It is, yeah.
And so there's that. If you're looking for another fun time to hang out and just kind of chill with the friends, meet new people, like very laid back. If you like 4-H, like those kind of things.
So laid back, in fact, that they just today or yesterday or a few days ago, they just updated their socials with the new logo for this year and announcing the sponsors. Yeah. We're like a month and a half away.
Yeah. No comment on that, but I will say don't plan on communicating with them. No, they did. They updated their stuff for the list of sponsors, which is great. I'm super. I mean, I love it because it's only like 3 hours away from me or something like that, maybe 4. And it's just a fun hangout, tailgate outside. The community comes together. Food is made. Drinks are passed. Andrew Rogers brings shot. You know what? I just cleaned up my desk and I moved the shot glasses from last year. But he
gave me one because we were talking about the shot glasses on the show, and I wasn't there last year, and he brought 2 of them. He gave one to Pooch and one to me because I was talking about how I missed out on one.
Well, he posted. Well, it'll be later in the show. We'll talk about it because he posted his new version.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Zombie
fun, and thank you so much. Thank you. So all of that aside, we had a ton of fun. Thank you so much for having us. I was all over the place. If I did not say hi or something, I'm sorry. I hope I said hi to everybody who said hi to me. We were just kind of scattered everywhere.
Real quick,
a lot of fun.
You can't see it on StreamYard when we pop it up on the screen, but on YouTube, that super sticker that Zombie sent was a banana. So.
Nice. Banana. Caleb, I can see your arm. That's funny.
You can see my arm.
We're gonna talk about that soon.
So I've been nervous to kind of that one. So the Cookie Cat one and the Hot Mix one, I have been kind of nervous to show off until it totally heals because just a risk you take sometimes when you get tattoos. Those 2 got a little tiny bit of infection spot. So there is a little bit of like a rough, weird patch where it's still healing and hasn't totally peeled off. Yeah. But yes, we will show it off here soon.
I love it. Yeah, I don't love that you're got like the scaly stuff still, but
yeah, no, everything else is healing.
I love that we have pictures of what's going on. Caleb is a billboard. If you want to, if you want to advertise, we're gonna talk about Sam.
So here,
Sam about that in a minute. Here, maybe
so you don't have to advertise. Stick around and hang out. I'll just show you
on your forehead.
Where's the? I can't. Where am I at?
I don't know what is happening. It's almost
I'm
like
trying to show
you never cameraed before. This is crazy.
I'm trying.
With that said, ladies and gentlemen, no.
How am I going to show this?
Going on? We will show the pictures. How about that?
All right.
Because it's way better. Otherwise,
we'll show the pictures of
what it, but I suggest you don't stand up. Keep it in the, anyways. It's turning into only arm. Yes.
Only arm.
How many banana stickers will it take for Caleb to get a banana tattoo? Caleb will probably get a banana tattoo if you pay for the banana tattoo. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
But if Seriously. That's true,
I'll get that banana that's the Hot Makes banana for scale, and I'll get it like full scale, kind of like Adam Savage got the ruler on his arm.
Yeah.
I'll get the banana.
Yeah. Is that like subjective? Like you could like grab your arm and be like, oh, it's a little less than an inch or a little more. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm imagining at some point it's no longer accurate.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, in other words, in other news, my little guy turned 4 on Saturday.
Oh, 4. I forgot it was Star Wars Day. It was his birthday. Happy birthday.
Day, right? Little Jar Jar.
Little Jar Jar.
No, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a great birthday. And what reminded me to bring it up is that Offset Maker Lab's in the chat, and Charlie, one of the little ones of the Offset Maker Lab crew, sent a nice happy birthday video to him, and it was really cute.
Won't say no. Just saying.
Interesting. I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
That might work because it extrudes upside down.
No,
all right, we gotta get going here.
All right, we need to get Sam on. So let's we haven't been doing
here for way too long. We have amazing guests.
I'm so sorry, Sam.
Super late by them, but don't forget, if you shall choose, there's links in the description below to donate. You can hit the stickers like Zombie did. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, it looks like Caleb has some notes in here. We're gonna open up some show sponsor spots. So there's that.
Yeah, we were talking about that recently because we were doing the sponsorship from the Rocky Mountain RMRRF Fest leading up to it, and now that the event is over, sponsor spots are open. We used to be sponsored by Thangs. We were sponsored by who else were we sponsored by in the past? There was Thangs and a couple others. It's just
Coax,
Coax 3D. Yeah, there's been a few of them in the past.
My brain is not fast enough for that.
It's also been forever ago. Yeah. That's why I'm saying let's open it up again. Let's see what happens. You know, I'll make a post on Twitter and all that garbage.
I like it. Look at these like tripods here. He has your hat on tripod, and he made he made a tripod floppy hat earlier too. You just missed it. All right, here we go. Cookie Cat is in the chat. We got so many people here. We got an amazing guest, and we're gonna bring him in.
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Sam Forge is with us. Sam, how you doing?
Sam.
Yeah, I'm doing very well. Thank you very much for having me.
We're sorry for making you wait for so long.
You know, yeah, I was gonna say we're just going off. I'm like, all right, we're just shooting in there. You know,
no, I mean, I know nowadays after you've had a big event and stuff, you know, there's a catch up element to it and a you know, reminiscing.
Have you ever been to one of the 3D printing events yet?
No, I haven't. There's less of them around the UK.
There's Smurf.
I go to a lot. So I don't know. I wanted to go. I was going to go last year, but I don't know what it was that meant that I wasn't able to.
There's always.
But no, I would like to go because it's you know it's obviously something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
might be a common interest here, you know.
Yeah.
So
wait a minute, time out. I thought we were talking about crocheting. Is that not what we're doing here?
Oh, wait, what?
Before we get too far, just in case somebody doesn't know who you are, can you quickly like give us your elevator pitch? Who are you? What do you do? And where can we find you? And then we'll jump into it.
Awesome. So I'm Sam, and my thing is I design fully working Transformers figures for 3D printing. So I've got one or two here briefly to show you stuff like this little guy. And so I'll design break down the models, make sure the transformations work, break up all the colors so that you don't need to know how to paint. You can just print, glue, pin it together. And then every 8 months, I make one of them available online because I am obsessed with making sure that they're just right. But, you know, and a mix of sort of free files to download, upgrade pieces or full toys, and the occasional paid one when it's been some massive project. You can find what I do primarily on Twitter at Sam_makes_toys. I'm not fast, but I do, you know, I like to think make quite nice things sometimes. Every so often.
Sometimes. That's awesome.
And I put a link to, I put all the links that I could find in the 10 minutes that I took to prep for the show. I put all the links that I could find.
You will have found them all in that case. Okay. So I am not a sort of scattered across the internet with all these different, you know, pockets.
Yeah, but your cults is in there, and your Etsy is in there, and your Twitter and your Facebook are both in there. So if you guys want to check them out, links are in the description.
Check me out. You can skip the Etsy. That's up there basically because taking it down would be weird with some of the things that people already bought and everything. But
yeah,
everything's on cults now.
Got it.
Thingiverse sort of detonated. So
self-destructed.
Yeah, it was impressive to watch.
Thing of what?
Thing of who? Chicka. Thanks.
I love it. No, that's so cool. So you are in the UK, right? You're somewhere over in the UK.
Yes, I am.
You're like right down the road from our friend Sam Prentice too, over there in London area. Yeah, he's like 15 minutes away from like the capital or downtown or whatever you guys call it over there.
Oh, I know. You don't like London's like 6, 8, 12 different cities. Depending on where you go.
Yeah, he actually sleeps in the moat that surrounds you know,
I mean, that's I'm impressed that he's able to afford the rent there. That's I mean, that is good. You know, I'm currently filming from this is my flat. Actually, this is the entire thing. There's a silo here. The printer's
there's a Murphy bed off to the side.
Yeah, exactly.
You climb.
This chair just leans back when it's time to go bed.
It's one of those chairs that leans back. That's what you sleep on.
That's awesome. So, let's kind of go back a little bit. How did you get started into 3D modeling and then 3D printing? What inspired you, to kind of get going?
So I've been into Transformers since I was a child. I've just been buying them, and they're excellent. Man after my own heart.
Yeah,
and like it's, and I didn't even as a teenager take a break. I just sort of at some point knocked over from being too old to be into toys to being a collector. It's a nice moment when you pass that point, and suddenly it's an interesting. Hey, it's the Mirage of the new. I've got him.
Yeah, I'm sitting next to a shelf full of Transformers right now.
Oh, brilliant. I've always loved the mechanics of them. Like as a kid, I would sort of, I don't know why I did it, but I made a point of never ever getting the instructions out.
Oh, really?
So even through the movies, if you remember some of the madness that was the second movie's massive Optimus Prime, that was like an engineering nightmare.
Yeah,
and I was sat there for 2 hours as a
So you figured it out on your own without
working it out.
Instructions. Yeah.
Because I always liked that element of it. So when I was at university, my department gave everyone access to SolidWorks for free. You could all get a license. And they didn't really teach it to us, but I kind of took the opportunity to go, well, I want to start making things. So I'll start making things. And I always knew I wanted to make my own Transformers. But at the time I was still thinking, well, I'll make some stuff and then I'll print it on Shapeways and get it sent over. Because in my head, having a printer was an expensive, insane thing that wasn't going to be happening anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did a few weapons and a few little bits. But I designed my first transforming figure back in about 2018. And I did the maths on it. and I looked into printers and I realized the price had come down and things were available. And it was like, it was going to be more expensive to print one attempt through Shapeways than to buy an Ender 3, all the colored filament I wanted for it, and have like 15 goes to get it right. And so I bought an Ender and I moved it between the various flats I lived in during university, like learning to sleep through the noise and putting it next to windows to try and get ventilation and stuff. I once poisoned myself overnight by mistake because a package was labeled PETG, but it was actually ABS.
Oh no!
Yeah. I thought I woke up the next day thinking I had food poisoning, feeling rough and ick, and so I thought it was food poisoning, so I kept going back to bed in the room with the ABS fume. It wasn't until I called in sick and came out and was out for like an hour and immediately felt better that I walked back in, smelt it because I'd no longer nose blind.
And when did you say that was? 2018?
No, that one was about 2 years ago. That was quite bad.
Yeah. So your cancer treatments are going well then.
Yeah, no. Well, that's why I sell the files. That's why I sell some now because I'm kidding. It's value for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got into it sort of that way. It was very much I taught myself design so I could design these, and I got into printing not because I was necessarily at the time really excited by the tech. I do love it dearly now, but it was just a means to take what I was trying to create and make it. And through that, I just kept working on them and doing designs and trying to get more advanced with them, over time. And a few years ago, I started posting them about and posting files, and because people are, especially in the sort of Transformers space, there's, a lot of there's so many different eras and genres with different designs that are never going to exist and never happen. I mean, Caleb, you're inevitably going to be familiar with all this, what many stratas of completely unrelated design there is, and there's even a whole like unofficial cottage market of like companies making
third-party
Transformers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which 3D printing, I'll come back to it in a second, but my 3D printed designs got me a job with one of these companies.
Really?
Doing third-party design. I work for Mastermind Creations.
I didn't know that. Ooh, now I feel bad about our social posts today. I didn't know that. Because I joked around about about Hasbro. We found a new design for you, and you're working for a third-party company.
It's fine. I applied to Hasbro. They didn't want me.
But they missed out.
International things. It's actually not that like that.
I didn't know you worked for them. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and this is it. I worked on my designs and I started posting them, and I generally was adapting designs from comics and stuff that had never got toys. For example, this guy is Pipes from the most popular comic book run of Transformers, and even the third-party space, they didn't get a toy, but I wanted him, and other people wanted him, and so people, I got a bit of attention in the community, and so on.
And see, the cool thing is, like, you were just holding a Transformer. Like, yes, the camera quality over live stream is its own separate monster, but like even in your pictures and stuff that you post, they are Transformers. You can barely tell that they're 3D printed. They're clean, they're crisp, they look like, especially what I was really excited about was your animated characters that you were creating. They look like they belong perfectly in the line that existed. It's like you were just perfectly emulated that design language.
Thank you, because that's exactly what I want to do, because that is, especially the animated stuff, is an absolute passion of mine, and the animated stuff is really what sort of got me attention and my quote unquote break in the sort of niche Transformer space, and it's a beloved line, which is a huge amount of characters got toys, some really important ones didn't, and so getting to make them has been satisfying. But then, for example, with this, so one of my by far most popular things I've made is based on a cancelled season, essentially a super armor for Optimus Prime, which I put the files out for free, because I basically took there are a few models and sketches of this cancelled toy that you can get in one like post-show. They call it the Allspark Almanac. And what I did is I measured in like Paint.net and Photoshop and things, dimensions and things, to try and recreate it as close as humanly possible to the cancelled toy. And I put it out for free because I didn't do the design work. I stole the design.
You were kind of
just
like
brought it back,
reverse engineering it from the photos. Yeah.
And I get a real joy out of making stuff that people want and that I want that we are never getting, but now you can. And specifically, again, to bring this guy as an example, like this is the final version, but I went through like 8 iterations where I re-engineered different bits and so on, because I want everything I make and put out to be a toy. Like if you print it, even if you have, like, my baseline is if you couldn't make a toy that you can play with reliably on an Ender 3, then I've not finished designing him.
I love that. I love that.
Because like because that's what I had for the Ender at the time. And almost everything you've seen that I've made is Ender or CR10. I've upgraded recently, but for like, this is all PLA, but something I started doing fairly quickly was using TPU parts for the joints. So like the elbows are TPU.
Oh, for the joints.
And then there are like, so I'll do like a ball joint, but I'll split it. So the ball is TPU and it glues onto a shaft. And so get the tolerances right there. And even though it is essentially a PLA toy, this guy is 4 years old now, and I can still pose him and transform him and play with him.
Which you can't say about a lot of the actual produced toys.
Well, that's true. But it's also not something that, say, if you did have an Ender, you could do if you just made it out of PLA, because we all know that it just shreds itself if you try and make a friction joint out of it. And that's part of why I'm so slow at finishing things, because if I put it out, I want you to make it and it not be a pain in the ass, to be the instructions be clear, and it be a sturdy toy when you're done. Because, in my head, it's a project, obviously, but I'm trying to make toys, not display pieces, toys.
Right. That's super cool.
Pride in it.
What were you saying, Jim?
I was saying that's super cool that you're it's not just something that you want to make to sit on my shelf. You want to make this thing playable. And what I might have to do is print one off and hand it to my 4-year-old. And
okay, look. Okay, so maybe, but for what it's worth, I wouldn't give most mainline Transformers to a 4-year-old at this point.
They're difficult these days.
We're grading on a curve here, But and working on the 3D printed Transformers, and I started doing, especially in COVID, when I graduated university COVID year 2020, and so I graduated with nobody hiring, no jobs out there at all, and so I was able to spend 12 months focused really heavily on my design. And so I worked on a lot more advanced designs. I started doing original interpretations of characters. And one of my original interpretations caught the eye of this company, Mastermind Creations, who went, look, it's not this that we would want, but this design shows the sort of like thinking and concept idea that we're trying for this new line. So would you like to try a figure, and if your design is good, then we'll give you more work.
That's so cool.
So they're not my full-time job, but they are a sort of basically an advanced version of the hobbying. And,
that's cool.
And even with it, I'm still 3D printing them. So I print my designs for them to test
as prototypes
out. Yeah, exactly. Because
which is what I mean. That's originally what 3D printing started off as, rapid prototyping, because it's a lot cheaper, and actually, it's a lot cheaper, even though it's a little more time consuming to print something out of plastic than spending all the time making a mold for it and then finding out it doesn't work.
Absolutely.
So you're literally kind of going back to the roots of what 3D printing was originally supposed to be.
And it is very much it's looped back around, because
Yeah.
like one of the main engineers of the company will a lot of the initial prototypes are now done on a bamboo, because like you can get enough quality that if it works in it, then the factory can adapt it into moldable toys.
Right.
So I still do stuff with that, and even doing that, making stuff I can show people and making stuff that people can make.
Mm-hmm.
I still do that. Like I've not skipped past it. And then just as somehow my actual job that I got around the same time is in metal 3D printing.
Oh, come on. That's
Are you
awesome.
serious?
Don't know how that one came together.
No.
It all happened at the same time. I work at a company that is working on not making the machines, but using them as in the most advanced possible way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
wow.
like we could be in the next couple of years the first company to make like millions of parts repeatedly through these machines on like on a fancy high level.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
If you want to talk about temperamental printers, it's basically what if the worst printer you've ever worked with could also explode if not looked after properly.
Nice. Well,
So I've
and
been watching.
I imagine the fails are expensive, right? So.
Oh yeah. Well, corporate level, an aluminium build fails. That's a shame, but they're a titanium we work with, and one of my colleagues is working on a little very fancy machine in platinum.
Oh wow!
Really?
And they spend like a week reviewing the like setup and the build file and every setting before any single one goes on. Otherwise, that's the most expensive typo you've ever fucking made.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm swearing a lot. I don't know if that's.
We try to keep it friendly on the show. Sometimes we slip. It's okay.
I'll tone it down. It's the British.
It's okay.
It's true.
We do. Yeah, it's true. Awesome. We do slip sometimes.
Nice. Well, that's super cool that you get to kind of do it in both sides of your world, right? So you're doing it as your hobby. You're doing it as a part-time, like more than a hobby, and then the full time you're like, yeah. So is there any plans to make like a metal transformer? That's what I need to know.
So my boss actually used to ask me if I would do it, and he didn't love my explanations as to why that wouldn't necessarily work. But I do actually right now. I'm working on. It was sort of dormant for a while, but I finished a few other bits, and so I'm back on it. There was a design based on a unused design by a famous Transformers artist, Don Figueroa.
Yeah,
who it was like World War II motorbike and sidecar, and it was like one unit that turned into Bumblebee.
Yeah, okay.
And I've got a mostly finished design of that, and at work we do get sort of a print credit, so to speak.
Okay.
A year if we want to use it. It's functionally unlimited, but like there's a limit to how much we can sort of push things out of the way. But my plan is to make like the wheel rims and like the engine out of metal, out of steel, and then blast them and mount them in the otherwise plastic toy.
So was that
to get that one done?
So was that supposed to kind of be a part of like that Hearts of Steel style?
It was. I can't remember what it was. I think it was some like unused comic stuff that just never went on.
Yeah.
I don't think it was Hearts of Steel, though I do love those, and I have a Hearts of Steel Prime I've sort of had eternally on the back burner. Which
what is alt mode?
It's a train, but like it's the train from the comic, but also I'm doing like the sleeper car as well. Yeah. So awesome. That opens up into like old school cannon.
That's awesome.
Which is great fun.
Well, let me just pull this up real quick. I jumped on your Colts. And I wanted to check out some of these. So we've been talking a lot about what you do, but we're not showing a lot. So I want to show.
Oh, and see that shockwave there is based off of
Hearts of Steel.
Hearts of Steel. Yeah, we were just talking about Hearts of Steel.
So this is actually a good sort of snapshot of the different things that I've done, because a few of these are sort of upgrade kits. So the shockwave, which is the second row, second item, if you click on that, you can see, if you look at, so that's the, essentially there was a shockwave figure that came out years ago, and I wanted to make, a Hearts of Steel style armor upgradey kit thing. And so I designed the upgrade kit that fits onto the base figure. So no modification to the base figure, and you can do all of this.
And the upgrade kit removes, you can remove the upgrade kit and create the alt mode.
Yeah. And so, I couldn't force it to transform like this.
No.
But I did on another toy. But yeah, and so it was the best of both worlds. And so,
and for those who we keep talking about Hearts of Steel, but I realize, some people
we're just getting into Transformers.
Yeah. The Hearts of Steel concept is this kind of alternate universe idea of if the Transformers existed in the industrial age, basically.
It's like if they landed 100 years earlier or something.
So steampunk Transformers, like you were saying, Optimus is a train, Starscream and the Seekers are all biplanes, basically.
There was one character, Scourge, who turns into a blimp.
Yeah.
It's just but there's actually leaked that this year we're getting a Hearts of Steel figure in as an exclusive, which is exciting.
Okay.
But so, for instance, the thing you've got highlighted here, the Ark was a figure that came out a few years ago, and
this is the big one, right? The big boy.
Yeah, the Titan class. So it's a big boy, turns into the ship, but he turned into technically a new character, but like a deep cut character from some comic in the 80s that only came out in the UK. But so I made essentially 4 different upgrade kits as custom fodder for this toy. So I made the one that's unpainted there is Omega Supreme. Again, head, new hands and gun based on the animated stuff. Then again, based on animated Lugnut Supreme, so same hands, but a little monocular eye up in the top right.
Lugnut's been one of my favorite characters ever since.
He was completing my own Lugnut, who's also on this page.
Yeah,
it was a joy. I was so pleased when he was finished. And then there's Tidal Wave, which is in the top left, which is from Armada. So that's from my childhood. And that was an idea that me and a mate of mine is a toy painter and customizer. And so we do a lot of projects together.
Nice.
And we were like, well, this could work. I went, right, well, I'll do a head and the new hands and some new shin pieces. And then he painted it. And then when I went to a Transformers convention in the States, I brought him back in my hand luggage. And then finally in the bottom right is one based on the new comics. So I basically was like, here, look, if you want to make a custom, here they are. Here's 4 options. And I put the files.
Nice.
The newer comics, like the Skydance stuff?
Yeah. Not the Skybound, the one before, IDW 2, I think.
The IDW, okay.
Yeah.
I love that you can take the original toy and you can say, listen, I know the original is awesome, but we can do other things with it and then give people options to do that. And this just replaces the pieces that are on the original, right?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's almost like you can buy one toy and there's more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
I was waiting for a good moment.
Yeah.
So the purple one in the top corner is Lugnut.
Yeah.
We were talking about a second ago. This was for me a big turning point figure.
And there's no painting on this at all?
There's no painting. So I
knew that you were making stuff that looked good, but I didn't know that you were making them so that they were completely separate colors.
So I make sure that you can break the model down into individually colored pieces, because I can't paint, and I have decided I know enough skills.
Necessity breeds ingenuity.
Yeah, but I joke that it's I know enough. I'll stop now. But in reality, it's it's one additional thing someone has to know if they want to make their own.
Right.
You know, if you have an Ender you can make this if you have patience and glue. And so that's what I wanted. Like, I want, if you make, for instance, it uses various different joints. This doesn't have screws, later ones do, but I pin a load of joints. And when I was picking the dimension of a pin hole, I got a few mates to, stupid question, but they did it, which I appreciate. I got a few mates to buy the first packet of paper clips they saw. And I measured them all, and I found that around 0.8 to 9 millimeters was about the average. So all the holes are 1 mil to give a little bit of tolerance so that you can put in a standard paperclip and build.
I didn't realize that. See, I have yet to build one of your designs, and I didn't realize you were using paper clips. That's so smart.
They're not small projects. And I know this because at conventions I will try and produce a few and I'll sell what I take. But I can't. I did one convention which I paid for entirely by selling prints. I printed 10 copies of this little guy.
Yeah.
Building 10 copies took me 50 hours.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
And he's one of the simpler things I did. The scrapper takes at least 8 hours per toy.
Wow.
The IDW Whirl, which is not up here yet, and unfortunately I just moved. He's in a box, but it's one of my most.
Yeah, I was looking for him when I was putting the thumbnail together and stuff, and I couldn't find him.
I can send it. It's unfortunately it's just on my Twitter. I've not finished him.
Okay.
Because he's absolutely one of the most advanced things I've done. He's this very, very spindly character. And so
I pulled up. We showed him off on our show one time. I think I tagged. I saw
the clip.
Huh?
I've seen the clip.
Oh, yep. There you go. Because Jim, that was the blue and black one that we were talking about. We were so amazed that it was even standing up.
That was awesome
because of the tiny little legs.
Well, that's been a while, but yeah.
Here, I'll very quickly grab a link to it. And drop it in the background channel. But
something else I was trying to find that you might have better access to was I wanted to show off the sweet packaging for Scrapper. That it was somebody else that made that, right?
Someone, yeah. I do actually have access. I'll find a picture and drop it over.
Because that just took everything and poof, you know.
It's a brilliant sort of coming together of different people doing creative things. So I had put out Scrapper's files and people had been making them, and seeing people make a design like that, print a copy, have a copy, especially when I know how much of a pain in the ass it is to build, and I designed it. So seeing people make it is awesome. And one guy basically got a load of his friends together, and as a combined birthday present to one of their mates who was absolutely obsessed with this era of Transformers, he printed a copy in resin and dialed it in, and then designed an entire package and box based on the original show and how all the original toys were packaged, and then made an insert so they could mount it, and they gave it to him. And it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
And like I was obsessed with the animated toys when they first started, when they were out, and seeing packaging that looked like it should have been on shelves, but for a character that we didn't get. You know, it's like it was weird seeing like a new package that I didn't see when I was obsessed with the line, but like it looks like it fits in so perfyfully, you know. And then the actual character design was right in line too. Like
this one you've been scrolling through on screen. I realized might need a little context because it just sort of looks like two cars at first glance. What this is actually a surprisingly interesting project, but not in the result, if that makes sense. So they did a team of race cars, the Stunticons. And they're all different racing cars. You know, obviously I'm explaining more for viewers potentially than anything else. Sure. But they're all different race cars, and they did this excellent new set. Actually, they were a brilliant set of toys. And at the last second, they skimped out And instead of making the final white car a Lamborghini, or, well, faux Lamborghini, it was just a direct repaint of the Ferrari, this black one that's on screen, but with a spoiler. So the car on the left initially looked exactly like the car on the right, just in different colors. And that bothered me.
Kind of, now that I'm looking at it closely, I can kind of see like a little bit of color difference between the two whites. So you can see where the original figure is and where your upgrades start.
It's like the whole canopy and then the front bonnet. And basically, I unscrewed the original toy, I disassembled it, and removed that whole section. At work, I was able to put it in our like 300 grand 3D scanner and get the guy who we paid to operate this to scan it for me. He scanned a few bits for me. He really enjoys the challenge. And then I sculpted a Lamborghini. I brought the two into Rhino, and I just tweaked the Lamborghini's proportions and such until in CAD it lined up perfectly, so that I could and like flowed with the lines, and then I printed it, added the hinges in and everything, and put it out there. So if you were bothered as well that it was such a cheap out, well, now you can make it, more Lamborghini. And like, it uses the original wheels, they just pop off the front of the old car and pop onto this new printed one, things like that.
This is one thing that I've always loved about the Transformers fan community, and like one of the reasons why I love being a part of it is that there are so many different continuities. There are so many different alternate timelines. Like it's not quite like Star Wars, where there's legends and there's what Star Wars and Disney says is official, and then there's all the other stuff that's like not official. Transformers is like, nope. There's a ton of stuff that's official and none of it really works together. Some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. You know, it's just, hey, everybody have fun in the sandbox. But despite that variation and that kind of like, for lack of a better way of putting it, like lack of a solid standard timeline and theme, the fans in the community still are able to get like very hyper focused on details and very specific, like you were saying, like, oh, they created all these characters for this combiner, but like one of them ended up being a repaint. So let's work together to make something that is more representational of the actual character that it should be to complete the set. It's so cool to me.
And there's so many people who like want to create in the space. You know, there's a surprising number of us making 3D printed Transformers now. I know several people quite well who do the same thing.
It was sometime last year, maybe the year before, we had the Lazy Eyebrow on when he was working on his the resin printed Astro Train, the HO scale Astro Train that he was working on. And I've noticed in his videos a lot lately, he's been doing some FDM because that was all resin, but he's been doing some FDM 3D printing as well for some upgrades for his characters and stuff too.
He's I got to know him actually at a convention late last year.
Was it BotCon?
No, TFCon. TFCon. I was in Orlando. We did a panel together about custom Transformers. Me and
that's awesome.
The two of us and two other guys. But the car reshelling that we just showed, he was the guy I was chatting back and forward with about that, and he actually prints full color copies and sells them.
That's awesome.
We came to an arrangement with it, and because he's a real. I'm sure you got from talking to him. He's a really loves the vehicles and the details and the accuracy, and so a cheap repaint was never going to fly for him. So he always wanted to get this, but I had the tech and access to the machines and everything to work it out.
And my little kid Caleb would have absolutely lost his mind with the videos that he does these days too, because that's kind of how I got into video production, was being bored in the middle of nowhere during the summers between school semesters and making stop motion movies with my Transformers.
I did the exact same when I was a kid. I was trying to do stop motions of my little Legends figures, trying to get them to do all the. He's phenomenally good though. wildly impressive, some of the stuff he puts out. So this
still blows my mind that thing stands up. I'm still having a hard time.
He is in a lot of ways sort of my printed opus so far, because the amount of stuff that I've pulled off in this is, well, I'm very proud of it. So
you should be.
It's, again, for people who aren't, aware of our incredibly niche hobby, this is Whirl from the IDW comics that ran for about 12 years or something. Phenomenal comics, like the huge amounts of them, just some of the best comics you could have read at the time. And he was a very sort of pivotal character and also a very fun character. He was he was critical in the million-year war that was Transformers, and also, Deadpool in a real way. And he was beloved, but we've never had a good toy of this design. And a significant reason, and this, at Mastermind Creations, as much as I adore them and have to adore them as I do work, they gave it a go, but it really didn't nail it.
Yeah.
And this is a design that will never, ever be done in a Hasbro toy because it's so thin and spindly.
Well, that's that's what I was looking at too. I was like, it's really well designed, but if I'm thinking in terms of an actual toy company creating it, they probably wouldn't, because it would be so fragile.
God, no, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's an absolute nightmare. But I wanted to do it. And so I managed to get this guy. And so this is obviously the robot mode, but the vehicle mode picture that's there as well. There's no disassembly. It's all one thing. All the mechanics are crammed in there.
That's
the
so
robot's chest is very tightly packed with vehicle panels, but they all fit. It all closes off. He has all the articulation. But my God, it took me to get to this point where I could print a copy that worked. I was working on and off on the design for like a year and a half, because it's such an unpleasant design to try and adapt, because there's just no vehicle anywhere on the robot, and also it's not like he's bulky, so you just hide it in the legs.
Yeah, it's hard to hide things inside other things.
Yeah, and so it was this jigsaw of trying to make use of every single little space I had, and that's why he's not available yet, because I broke him, and if I broke him, if anyone should be able to keep him in one piece, it's me.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I'm very pleased. I've done a lot of refinements since, and I hope to put him out quite soon, actually. And but yeah, I just love him, and I've taken him to a load of conventions, and people are thrilled with him. And things like the legs. So the legs are actually really sturdy. I've not had any issues. They've not broken. I've had him in suitcases multiple times.
Really?
His legs have not broken, and he stands great. And that's because I took a lot of time working on how to make this work. Because originally, my plan here was actually to use metal pins I bought on Amazon. Just cut them to length, use them as a sort of central shaft, plug them into the feet. I figured the middle section might be fine, but that last spindly section, probably not. But what I ended up actually doing is, so those black sections of the legs are printed in two pieces. I've split it straight down the middle. And so you essentially print each half flat.
Okay.
The skinnier black pieces just before the foot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that, and the middle black piece. And essentially, so if you imagine, looking at it lengthways, it's split down the middle. So and then I don't glue them together. I just put them next to each other, feed the rubber piece through at each end to hold the knee together. And it basically means that each half is holding the other half in tension. And so they can't bend too far, because they're pulling on each other in opposite ways. So even though it's just PLA, just regular PLA, it holds the whole weight up, stands reasonably sturdily, and as long as you don't slam him on the desk, as long as you pose him and then put him down, completely sturdy. The only reason he falls over is I made the heels too small. But the legs haven't broken, haven't even stressed.
Wow. It's so cool to hear your thought design on some of this. Like you're trying to find where everything needs to fit, and like I'm looking at this going, man, someone had to do that with all of these toys, right? And you just took it to another level by saying, I'm going to figure this out myself and start over. And, even any of the toys, even the ones you buy off the shelf, somebody has to design how they all work, right?
Mhm.
But you're just taking it like to another level.
Yeah.
You're finding
Yeah.
stuff that's not out there. You're finding upgrade kits. You're finding, things that people will probably never see from a big company ever. And you're saying, I'm going to figure this out. And that's what we're seeing here.
Well, and you're
Super cool.
designing 3 toys basically at once. That's always been kind of the draw for Transformers for me, and part of its success is like when you have a Transformers toy, you have a vehicle, so you have like a car of some sort or a helicopter, you have a robot to play with, and then you also have a puzzle like a Rubik's cube. You get 3 toys in one, and you're figuring out how to design those and make them work together.
It's a really fun problem. It's not a easy problem. Whirl here easily has had so far 150 hours of work on the design level put into him, and we'll need more before I'm done. There's a reason I release these things slowly.
Yeah.
But I'm also refining my process and getting better with time. Like projects are taking less time now. But he was never going to be fast.
Well, you can hear that and see from talking to you how much pride and how much how proud you are of these models, right? And you don't want to release something that can't be played with, and I think that's super cool. You're not just saying it's good enough and tossing it out there, and then I spend 10 hours trying to put this thing together, hand it to my 4-year-old, and it's done in 2 seconds, right? But you're taking hours upon hours to figure it out. You're putting your blood, sweat, and tears into these things, and you can tell. You can see it, you can hear it in your voice, and I love it.
It's certainly a quality over quantity thing too. Like you're saying, it takes me so long to put these out. That's why I have so many of these, or I only have so many of these or whatever. But they're solid though. That's the thing. Like they're not being pumped out and falling apart. And that's, I don't know.
There was I just dropped I found the boxed image.
Did you?
In the thing. But I made a good friend in the space with one of the old YouTube reviewers, a guy who goes by Bobby Skullface.
Oh, okay.
And we've actually been doing a podcast on his Patreon for about 2.5 years now. But I got talking to him because once I designed the first version of this guy, he's a big IDW comics fan, and so I went, look, would you like to take a look at a copy? Because I wanted to send it to him, and I appreciate the stuff he does, and it's the best thank you I can offer is give you something. And then I ghosted him for 9 months while I refined the design. And then eventually I got back in contact with him and went, he's done. Would you like him? And he went, yeah, I'll take him. But we got chatting after that because he took a look at the review and he'd reviewed a few printed figures before. And they were all brilliant, to be absolutely clear. I love all the other guys' stuff. But he finished this one and he put the review out and he said it in the review, but he also mentioned afterwards going, look, this felt like a toy in a way that the printed stuff so often doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me go, okay, maybe we're going somewhere with this, Maybe this is like actually getting somewhere where this could be like a proper, people can start making proper things. And like it's not just a loose hobby piece. And so we got chatting after that and we've been good mates ever since. But like that was really exciting for me because it sort of justified a lot of the weird bits I've been fiddling with.
Yeah.
Like the TPU joints and stuff took me a long time to get working. But now that it does work, it's really easy to do and it makes things just very sturdy straight away. This is a design I worked on a couple of years ago. It's a Japanese post G1 Optimus Prime called Star Convoy. But this is the only print of this I've ever done. I did one scaled down one for a mate, but I was able to get, I just pulled his hand off. I was able to get him to work basically first time because at that point, I'd sort of got all his pieces, all the different mechanics to work in terms of like how you build them and produce them. And he was a simpler design. So, just print and go.
I love it. The look of panic. I just pulled his hand out like that.
Yeah. Well, as I say how exciting and how great it worked first time, ripping him to pieces on camera undermines it slightly. But
no, that's no, but that's what you're gonna do. Good stuff. So this is what we were talking about a little bit ago. So someone tell us what we're seeing here.
Yeah. So this is the scrapper that I designed from the Transformers animated show in vehicle mode, in a box that was entirely made by another guy. It's a dimensionally perfect, in terms of angles and shape and size, replica of the boxes that the actual Transformers animated figures came in back in the late 2000s, early 2010s. But with entirely original art, because this character never got a toy, with little jokes and stuff on there. Like if you
pretty much the only thing that
printed on there
makes this obvious, the only thing that points this out to me that it's not actually from the line is the spot where it says 3D printed and the spot where it says ages 41 plus.
Yeah. Can you guess how old the guy was on his birthday?
At least 41.
But this was several people working together on this project to put this thing together. Like there's a lot of really fun collaboration and so on going on in the Transformers world, and so getting to play parts of that is great. I mean, this guy, before he had put the box together, said, "Hey, do you mind if I do this?" To which my response was basically like, "What do you mean, do I mind?
Why are you asking my permission?
Send me the pictures when you're please do."
Yep.
So this is one of the originals I found.
Yeah.
See,
so
that was one that was actually on shelves.
Yeah. So this is a real one, and then they took it and made that.
Yeah,
that's so cool. That's so
good.
Cool. And I'm pretty sure it was either the scrapper or the animated lug nut. I can't remember which one it was that I saw. There are a lot of makers. There are a lot of people that we have on the show that we kind of like meet through other people, or I find people we know sharing stuff that they do. And I'm like, oh, they're cool. I'm going to check out their stuff. We end up having them on as a guest at some point. You're one of the few people we've had on the show that I've added to our guest list that I found completely naturally. Like I've noticed you in other things since I started watching since I started not keeping track of you, but following your work, basically.
He air tagged you.
Air tagged, yeah. But no, it's like after I started following your stuff is when things like I don't know his real name, but that toy guy mentions like meeting up with you at TFCon, and I'm like, oh, okay, so he's been around this space for forever. I just didn't know who he was yet. So
for what it's worth, I've not been around quite that long. I only I've started, my name started popping up, but only because I've started to know these people over the last couple of years. Because for the last 2 years, I've started going to American conventions. And it's one of those beautiful things where I've done enough little bits that it's like an immediate icebreaker cut in. Like,
yeah,
we don't know each other, but you know me.
Yeah.
So let's chat.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that toy guy's lovely. He's a really good guy.
Yeah.
You don't know
it's
me.
awesome to hear, it really is.
No, that's so cool. So, let's ask you another one, but we got to jump into hot makes soon. You gonna hang out and check out some?
Yeah, more than happy to. I'm a night person. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. He's got to be working 5. No. So real quick, we have some of the questions, and we got through most of them, but the one that I wanted to know about is what is some of your favorite designs, but like if you had to pick one of the things you did to be like, this is me, what would it be?
And it doesn't have to be most complicated or most difficult.
No.
Because Whirl sounds like he's up there on the difficulty scale. But
Whirl's, this is it. Whirl's satisfying, if you know, like I'm really invested. I really love it, but he's more satisfying at completing. I think it would be Lugnut, that sort of purple plain one that we were looking at earlier, because he was my first attempt to do something in my own sort of style. Like he's a bit more angular, and he was kind of meant to fit in with one of the sort of like hard angle minifigure lines. But also I wanted to, it was a character I loved, but I wanted to solve the problems of his toys that came before him, which is he's a bulky character that's never been bulky in the toy form, because it just doesn't make sense.
He's always had he's always skipped leg day on
it.
Like
he's always skipped leg day.
He's supposed to be kind of like a big kind of like simpleton brute, and all of his toys that have come out, like his legs transform into the tail of the jet somehow, which means when he's in robot mode, he's got these little stick legs.
He's your berserker.
Yeah,
but because he turns into a plane, there's not a lot of places for berserker mass to come from. And so cracking that and having not just finished a toy, but having the version of the character I've always wanted that I did, it's still absolutely the one that and that's, like I said, I can't remember if it was him or Scrapper, but I remember those were the two that kind of like made me go, oh, I need to follow this dude. I need to see what he's up to. I need to watch him. I need to follow him home. I need to put a camera in his. Thank you very much.
Tripod needs a leg day. So if you don't know John, he goes by Tripod's Garage. Great channel on the YouTubes, but he's also missing.
He's a friend of ours.
One of his legs, and so he's like, a lot of people don't understand his humor, and he is super cool with like having fun with everything, and he. And he'll be the first person to crack a joke and make you feel uncomfortable until you crack a joke, So it's funny that we speak of leg day because he's still looking for one.
Remember when he was on the show and I asked him what he does with his extra socks? And he was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Well, you only have the one sock, so do you just have a drawer of extra?" He's like, "There's no right or left sock."
Well, look, I could make a new leg, but it will have to turn into some form of truck. I'm sorry, it's all I do. So,
I'm in.
I'm in.
You make it. I'll print it on the Orange Storm gig.
I was gonna say you're looking for something to print on the big printer,
and we'll bring Tripod a truck leg. That would be amazing. By the way,
hey, he goes by Tripod's Garage, so a truck makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
There you are. There you are.
Yeah. I know. It could fold. It folds up, and then it folds back down into like a powered wheelchair. So when he goes to Walmart, he could just like cruise around, and then when he's done, it like folds back up into his leg or something.
Or just totally mess with him and make it one of the most lazy designs ever. It literally just looks like Optimus's trailer sticking down with like the truck cab as a foot. That's it.
It's a kid's My First Truck drawing.
Yeah,
just extruded down. There's not even a foot at the base. It's just like the front bumper on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Tripod likes trucks. Yeah, we're gonna. Well, he does have onlyleg.com, so we can put.
Yeah, he did.
Onlyleg.com. Yeah. But we.
All right.
I think I'm in. We could get some motors. Thinking like Dr. X meets Transformer. Like
you lie down and the wheels just go. Start dragging forwards.
Yeah.
Just zipping off into the distance.
We'll get there.
I think we broke Jim.
Oh man, I'm still not over this COVID cough crap. Oh man, after the Rocky Mountain, I ended up with the big C. So I was down for a couple days, and I heard I wasn't the only one. I think quite a people maybe had left with that parting gift too. But The cough has not gone away yet, but I think it would be amazing. We'll dial in the ESC and the speed controller. So like,
but make it
he
so
can lean
that
on it and it'll actually drive him if he leans like to the one way.
He's like a human motorized Healy, basically.
Yeah.
Just, you open it up, put the other leg in, and you become a motorized mermaid.
Oh yeah, like the waitress in Star Wars.
Yes,
Sweet.
I like where you're going with the mermaid thing. I think we could definitely play.
Oh man.
Oh man.
The entire Offset Maker Lab team is currently watching as well. So it's only a matter of time before they end up putting something together now.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, if that's the thing. If that's the thing.
I'm crying over here. Okay. We should check out some hot makes before it gets too late. And yeah.
Let's check out. You want to check out?
We don't want to keep legging them on. We just.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
That was rough.
I love it. So let's check out the.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. Sorry.
Nope.
There we go.
There we are. That's
what is happening. Sam is one of us. Everybody's that's Local Maker Michigan saying. I love it.
Sam's one of us now.
One of us. I love it. I love the. Oh man. I love I can bring the stream down to my level. That's true. We are only at 0.75% of stream right now. So
okay.
Nice. All right, let's do this.
All right, let's check out some cool stuff.
Makes.
Boom.
Roll.
I did that thing where I didn't look at any hot makes before we got started today. So.
Nice. I'm just thinking of all the crazy fun. I'm thinking we make a Death Racer Transformer leg for him.
It's one of those YouTube videos of I created the highest speed fake truck leg ever. One of those, I guess you did. You did do that.
I made the best version of something nobody asked for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He actually goes to test it and it takes off. The rest of him's like flailing behind the thing and it's like driving down the road.
1 second he's there, the other second you just see two crutches and a cloud of dust.
I'm imagining this now on like Shark Tank. There's a guy just spinning rapidly in circles as they all look on going,
best video
this
ever.
is just an efficient way to injure people. What are you bitching here?
Oh god, Shark Tank is how he lost his leg. All right.
Oh god.
All right. Here we go. Black powder.
It keeps getting worse.
Wanted to share my most recent print and paint. Still need to work on a few things, mainly sanding to get things smooth. But here you go. Black powder creations. Way better paint than I could do, by the way.
I say that's beautiful.
I know. Is it the little beans on the feet? You got the little beans.
Little toe beans.
Mm-hmm. Really nice.
Very good job. Black powder creations.
Sarah has been watching and playing a lot of Pokemon lately, and the little Eevee character designs have definitely gotten a special place in my heart.
Mitch, this is before the Rocky Mountain Retro Festival. Mitch actually made another backpack printer, which was super cool to see in person.
I don't know if you've ever seen this online before, but Mitch,
I've not.
He had a Delta printer at one point, and then he kind of became known for that Delta printer. And then for this past event, he made a new one that was a Cartesian. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and he walks around the event while it's printing on his back.
There you go. There's the new one.
What?
There's the new one.
And it runs off the battery. It
runs off drill batteries.
Battery switching if it runs out.
Oh my god! This
is why you need to go to these things. You're going to find stuff like this and go,
Okay,
well, I saw idea. There was something. It wasn't quite. There was something similar that someone had a few years ago through work. I got to go to Form Next.
Oh yeah.
I actually bought a Creality because at the end of the weekend, they're so it's just not worth the money for them to ship them back, so they sell them for like 80% off.
Yep.
So I took one back with me, but there was a guy, I can't remember what company it was, demoing something similar, but they just had a trolley wheeling around, going, "Look how impressive this is. That's how you do it. This is how you do it. Look at that."
Yeah.
Well, that's like the stickers and stuff because it was that project was sponsored by Sliceworks, and like that's so just slap your sticker on the side of the printer because you helped sponsor it, and like everybody's looking at it, you know?
Oh yeah.
So
he's got these dialed down so tight. Like
I know
the printer printed great all weekend too. By the way,
you would think it would have some sort of like weird banding or like print defects or something like that from all the rattling around, but nope, it looked good.
I can't get my anchor mates to print well half the time.
He's got something on his back.
There's your problem. No.
Does he glide?
Don't they make batteries? I don't know. Battery
just don't get anchor mates.
Maybe the problem is it doesn't have a screen. It only has a button. No. I just got another idea for the tripod thing.
I knew it was going back to tripod. I knew it.
Instead of a truck, what if it's like, I don't know, 8 legs that come down like an octo leg,
like a strong beast,
they're like legs that
all independently functioning legs in like a brush.
Instead of one, he has like many, and
this is how supervillains are made, Jim. This is how this is an origin story of a supervillain.
Right.
He never had he didn't have the leg. Everybody made fun of him because he only had one leg. Now he has 9.
Yeah.
See, I assumed you'd been inspired by the backpack printer. We're going to go, what if it was just a leg, but it's a printer?
That's what I was
print
thinking.
more
That's
legs
why I was going with it.
while you and I
were at length. Jim was I don't know where.
Yeah, if he's on a treadmill, it'll be a belt printer then. All right. Final layer, Jeremy.
Jeremy is here
too. So Jeremy, we met at the Rocky Mountain RMRRF Festival. We got to see this Sakura 240 in person.
That was the first time I got to see him in person, aside from the streams we've done before. Yeah. And dude is a spitting image of wow, I'm blanking now. Jane Silent Bob. Who's Silent Bob?
Silent Bob. I love it.
Why am I blanking on the name all of a sudden?
You said
who is Silent Bob?
I can't pronounce it. It's silent. But this is a 3D sets
Kevin
model.
Smith. Jeez, Kevin Smith. There we go.
I couldn't remember if it was Kevin Smith or the other one.
There you go.
Of course,
I didn't want to seem like an idiot.
Yeah,
and of course, Jeremy knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
because he looks like it.
This is a 3D sets. These RC models are so cool with 3D sets, and this is their newest one, the Sakura 240 or whatever. And this thing is so cool, and he had it there. It looks so good in person.
How is that printed? It's so
everything's printed down to the gearbox. Everything it's so cool. And this thing,
and it's RC, right? Like you can drive it. Yeah,
everything that's the only things that are not printed, like electronics or the screws.
Yeah,
I think there's some belts in the transmission. But it was
so
cool. Properly impressive pictures too. I thought it was a render for a second.
It does. It looks like it, doesn't it?
Jeez, it's lovely.
Yeah.
So imagine if we got Sam and the 3D sets folks together to make like it would be transforming. It would just be a vehicle only mode, but like a file like this, but a Transformers vehicle. You know? Because I mean, this is big. I mean, this is a Porsche of some sort, right?
Mm.
Oh, here we go. No. Tires and windows aren't printed either. There you go. And it definitely drives.
Mm.
It is. I would be very impressed if those windows were printed. Just saying.
There we go.
It's not quite there yet.
Yeah. Maker Viking. This is a first print on a Bamboo Lab A1 Mini.
Okay.
Great. And he needs a filament sponsor now because he's hooked. Thomas, this is pretty sweet, man. Nice work on the bear.
At first I thought it was a bear, but I think, is it a bear or is it a sloth?
Bear. Yeah, no, it's a bear.
Okay.
It
just hangs on to stuff like a sloth.
Yeah.
It say what Polymaker.
God.
And Flexi Factory. Flexi Factory makes good stuff.
There you go.
Damn it! I keep hearing how good I say hearing the amount of people I know who've gone in with the for various different Bamboo Labs machines. They just seem to be a very nice sweet spot of quality.
It is the bamboo stuff is the closest thing I've ever actually seen to be accurate to the whole like plug and play like concept, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know what kind of I'm not a car guy. Why are we slapping me for the Porsche comment?
maybe because you called it Porsche.
Is it supposed to be? It's Porsche, right?
It's
the way I
assumed it would be misidentifying the car.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So maybe it is a Porsche.
I don't know.
It's supposed to be Porsche.
I'm just saying. No, I agree.
Notice how Jim brought the comment up, but he never actually like he's not answering my question because he's doing the thing that Sam did a second ago, where he doesn't want to say it wrong and sound like an idiot too.
It's Porsche.
Is it really?
Yeah, Porsche. But it's definitely not the Sakura.
Oh yeah, okay, but it was a Nissan car, so I was wrong on every front.
Yeah.
Like,
cool. But I have to agree,
awesome.
Bamboo Lab printers super cool. I have a bunch of them, and I can tell you which ones I don't have. Those are the ones you mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
I gave them away. Not saying that they're bad. Not saying that they're bad at all.
They're all right. They're picky bastards, and I entirely went in because the color engine, if it ever delivers any of its promises, are revolutionary for what I do with my multicolor printing, because it would cut the production of prints to sell at conventions down by half, because I wouldn't be gluing together independent color pieces.
Right.
But like I've not explored it regularly because it's just so slow normally. But I bought the things over a year ago, and it's been delayed 4 times since I bought them.
Oh,
and
really?
It just caused problems, and if that thing doesn't come out in the next 6 months, I'm selling them and getting a Bamboo.
Oh.
I hope it delivers. I hope it does. I think there's a lot of people in your position. All right, Prusa guy. Easter Bunny Part 3, and it's done.
Speaking of painting skills.
Yeah. Oh, am I muted?
Yeah, I muted you.
This has some like 70s porn music going on.
Do you want me to unmute you, or are we?
I'm not sure. No, don't
Okay.
unmute me.
Jim has the bad habit of playing videos with copyrighted music. So I got into the habit of muting him, but when we start the show,
I feel like I feel like
that never leads to accident.
All right, so there's the picture. Look at that.
Are you kidding me?
So good. I would definitely not paint like that.
No, I can't. That's too.
That's so good.
I am infinitely impressed by the paint work and the people, because even if
those
you can
eyes
see layer
are
lines, proper painting just makes the whole thing
and proper printing.
You know,
improper printing. Nice. I love the model for one. I love the paint skills are crazy. Nice work here. Model by Wexter, it looks like, and
we love that guy.
Oh, God,
and it was Fix'em Dude who tagged it.
Yeah.
Fix'em Dude.
Speaking of Local Maker Michigan, here we go. I fully admit I did not get them all this week. Not every single one.
Really?
He makes these maker
There's one particularly that I hope you got.
No.
I'm looking for it.
We'll find out. Don't go ahead. No, just joking. So he makes what he calls maker bricks.
Maker bricks.
And he has like, I don't even know, at least 100 by now. And he's going to bring them all to, I believe, the Midwest RMRRF Festival and like make a wall or something out of the bricks. It's going to be super cool, but he designs them.
Are you familiar with the concept of maker coins?
I'm not.
Okay. It's kind of similar to that, but basically whether, the coin or the brick, or this year at the at the Rocky Mountain Festival, a lot of people were doing poker chips, but it's this idea of taking kind of a standard form factor and customizing it to represent you in some way.
Okay.
Yeah, so that at an event
so I didn't know the word, but I am familiar with the concept. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So then you can get them all together at an event, and it just looks like this big cool display, but each one is an individual person. So he's been designing these maker bricks, and I have been so adamant on like we need to make like a wall out of these and just run through it or something.
Yeah,
200 bricks. He's made 200.
God damn.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome, man. And he just doesn't do it, and which is super cool. Next, SB Creations 21. This is a dragon from STL Flicks. There you go. Boom.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love the colors. It looks like it's made out of Smarties.
It does.
And I want Smarties.
It does. It looks like I could just take a bite. It looks like Polyterra. I can't even talk. Polyterra Gradient PLA Winter. Wow.
The weird and I'm referring to the weird chalky American Smarties specifically.
I was gonna say that's not what these. That's not what a British Smartie looks like.
No. Because the UK Smarties are they're like chocolate. They're almost like M&Ms, right?
Yeah, I'd say they're basically just similar, almost M&Ms.
Yeah.
Got it. Looks like cotton candy. Someone says.
Oh no! Yeah, you did.
I'm in charge. Be afraid. Oh boy. Here we go.
It's the next one.
Local
there it is.
There you go.
The Crafty Maker. We had him on a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Yep.
He makes these really cool like shadow box, like multi-panel shadow box designs that.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're super super cool. And we had him on as a guest a couple weeks ago. And while we were on the show, we were showing off a couple of. He's made 200 of them. So like almost every episode, we've got a couple more maker bricks to show off. Because he always tags our show in it when he makes them too, which is awesome. I appreciate that. But when Christoph, the Crafty Maker, was on the show, he was like, "Oh, these are really cool," and I'm like, "I can almost guarantee you, he's gonna have one designed like tonight before you go to bed." Basically, and then when we got off the show, Christoph messaged me like later that night or the next day or something like that, and he's like, "Dude, it's happening. He's making one," and I was like, "I told you."
Nice. I love it. Thank you, Local Maker Michigan.
Seriously,
I didn't get them all, but speaking of Christoph, here you go.
There we go.
Whaley the Whale. There you go. Let's see. There you go.
Is that a render or
sweet.
No?
That's a print.
Is the spout?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering. What's the water jet printed
it
out?
Looks like filament.
No, really.
Yeah, there's layer lines here.
Okay, so it must be. Oh,
you could definitely see.
Wow.
Well, some sort of translucent blue.
The bit drops down as it gets thinner. There's a surprising amount of clarity in terms of just like letting light through.
Yeah,
like
I know. That's why I thought it was resin, or I thought it might be a render. That's awesome.
I thought the same.
Let's see. He doesn't say what filament, but yeah, link is in the bio. There you go. First real modeling exercise using Nomad Sculpt.
You know what? I'm wondering. I bet you that translucent filament is probably the Bamboo Labs translucent PET Gs that he was making because he doesn't
the stained
glass stuff too.
Yeah.
Where it's like all the little panels of the stained glass are printed in separate translucent PET Gs and then assembled into a frame. It's super cool.
Yeah. And this one's Aaron.
Look at this.
I'm gonna go with Aaron because I like saying Aaron. Wife has some new sands of anarchy. Wow, I cannot talk. Busts. That's pretty cool. Amazing. Very good.
Those look awesome. I never truly get over just how nice you can make something in a truly dialed in resin.
Yeah.
Yep. And I know they make like the ABS like resins and some of the stronger resins and stuff, but I still feel so nervous about making something like what you make with making something like a transformer out of resin. I'd be real nervous about that.
I explored it for a while. I did have I don't know which one it was. But I bought a resin machine and I was experimenting with it, but it was one of those things that I just couldn't quite. My designs have hundreds of parts sometimes.
Oh,
and I had bought for the sturdiness $120 a bottle nylon like resin,
Uh-oh.
Okay.
And this stuff was magic. Like, you cured it properly, and I could throw it against the wall, and the wall would dent first. But it's such an expensive mistake if you mess it up.
Yeah.
And my first dyeing experiment went wrong, and I wasted $120 on a bottle, and I basically rage quit resin forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It truly was an unbelievable material. It was.
I didn't even know that existed.
Look up. I think it was a mini Q nylon. Like, it was expensive, and they can mix it white or gray, but it truly, like, get it right, indestructible. But
so we were just tagged by Silver Bear on Twitter. I didn't realize this. I just sent a link in the private chat. Apparently, Local Maker Michigan has a whole Google album with pictures of every maker brick he's made so far. So if I'll drop it in the chat. So if anybody wants to check it out at some point, because there's a lot of them.
He did a lot of them. All right, we're gonna keep moving here. We're getting later. It's already 1:30 in the morning for you, I think.
Yes.
Printing PLA with Polymaker Black Polyterra and Mica 3D Translucent Rainbow. Jeremy Brown. There you go.
Check that out. I love the Polyterra stuff, that matte finish.
Yeah. Speaking of multicolor prints. This took a minute to do, but I tell you what,
must have.
Yeah, but it looks so good. I love how it's all incorporated into it looks like your claws are here, right? And so good.
Very, very cool.
Nice work, Jeremy Brown.
I wonder if that was one of those like dynamic color filaments. Because if
that like it transitions.
Yeah, because it looks to me like it would be a 2-filament thing, a black, and then the as you go around, it's all
right here. Mica 3D translucent rainbow.
Yeah, so that's how there's maximizing.
You read that.
Yeah, he was just testing you.
Yeah.
Which is cleverly done because you got to factor it in as you. That's awesome.
Fix them, dude! Congratulations. This is 100,000 downloads on printables.com.
Wow. That's awesome.
And Prussia is sending YouTube plaques now. So no, it's super cool. It's just such an awesome thing. 100,000 downloads.
Wild.
He makes some good stuff. He deserves it.
Fix him, dude.
He's also a genuinely fantastic, kind person.
Yes, he is.
That was that night that you had to cancel last minute. So I ended up sitting there being awkward, trying to. It was just me and a guest.
It was,
and
great.
Jim didn't show up.
Sorry, I missed that show. I'm very sad that I missed because Fix 'em Dude's such a good guy. And,
he is. He's a fantastic person.
But congratulations! This is such a cool thing, and congratulations on over 100,000 downloads on Printables now.
That's a lot.
Next we got little Caleb here.
Oh, hey, that's me.
Yeah, little Dumpy.
Dumpy.
Little
that's what I decided to name it. Little Dumpy. No, I got I finally got my hands on an AMS, and I was like, I got to try to do a test print to make sure it works, right? And the full size dump truck that I don't know how to pronounce the name. I don't know. But the full size one said it was going to take like 12 hours for a tiny little dump truck. And I'm like, nope, scale it down.
Yeah.
So it's still a 0.4 nozzle.
Nice. It looks good.
The wheels turn and everything like it's supposed to.
Oh, wow.
It's just this tiny little thing. It's less than 2 inches long. Shut up. Don't take that anywhere. Stop it.
We're not saying nothing. It's kind of like tripod's leg.
All right.
Anyways, this is super cool, man.
It's
love
so
it.
Tiny. I don't remember where I put that.
And there was more than model, but it was
I feel certain if you sneeze, you'd blow it like away forever. It's tiny.
Caleb made it something. All right, next. Hot mix.
Oh, there you go.
The morning of
this was Saturday morning, and this is after the line had already been moving for a little while too. This was the line to get into the event.
And the snow. Let's not forget
I was
about
going to say, yeah, it looks like a pleasant place to be queuing.
It was not.
It was great.
Well, the best part is, I'm in Arkansas, and the weather down here is warm, and I was sweating when I got on the plane, and then when I got off the plane in Colorado, and I could see my breath in front of me, I was like, I should have brought a jacket. I didn't even think about this. It never crossed my mind.
It was pretty funny. I brought a light jacket, but I came from Wisconsin. It was cold here already, and I just wore shorts anyway. What do we got next? Now we can talk about these fun things happened tonight. So we'll start with this one.
I just can't get an angle. There we go.
Hey.
Oh, there you go.
And there's that one.
Oh, geez.
I love this Filament Stories one. Turned out so sweet. All the different colors turned out great.
The colors are really nice.
I'm really happy with that. And Courtney is just one of the best people.
She is. You're a brand tramp, somebody said.
I appreciate that.
We got the TH3D and Filament Stories that day, right?
That was on Saturday night.
Yeah,
and then on Sunday night, I went back.
Yeah, and then Sunday night you went back.
And I did 3 more.
And you were getting hot makes.
I got hot makes.
Audio jack.
And then back here.
And a middle finger.
No, I'm having a hard time getting the right angle for that. That's Cookie CAD right there.
Hang on, I'm going. So
there you go.
Here's audio jack. Turned out amazing.
I'm really happy with that one. That one's one of my favorite ones because of all the colors and the tiny little boxes. They all turned out awesome.
They did. Here's hot makes.
There's something about a show that you've been doing for so long, literally bleeding with your own blood.
Just staring at it.
Yeah, that was when the Cookie CAD was fresh. And I will say it's kind of hard to see. And forgive me for the queasy members of the audience that are not going to like the infected part, but as it's healing, you can see more of the gradient. So like when it was done and it was all scabbing up and stuff like that, it looked like it was just 3 chunky colors, but it's nice soft gradient now. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, and then they told you they were changing their logo when you got back. So
no, that was Tim. That was TH3D. They were like, "Oh, this is probably bad." I was like, blue ink was going into my skin, and he's like, "Now's probably a bad time to tell you we're changing our logo."
Oh man, I love it.
Well, it's an item of history, isn't it?
We could keep moving. We have so many left.
I'll tell you the same thing I told everybody at the show who was like, "Are you serious? It's all going to rot in the same hole at the end of the day." I'm not. Yeah.
That's one way to say it. This is from
it's hard to argue.
This is it is. This is New Dan. He shows off I believe what was this, the first crash of the day, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When we were doing the drag races, the way he stood his phone up was he just kind of like stuck it in a little roll of tape at the end of the finish line area, and boom, immediately got hit.
It was a lot of fun. They're always awesome to see the drag racers and the death racers battle it out. Willow Creative is our next one. She is
Willow is amazing.
I've been following her for a while. Just
she's been on the show 2 or 3 times now.
Yeah. And I think she's in the US now, so we should.
Yeah, she's in Florida now. When we talked to her the last time she was on the show, she had just moved to Florida.
Yeah. If she's still there. Mostly 3D printed with epoxy resin and some foam details. This thing is
printed in epoxy resin.
I think it's epoxy sort of filler and sort of for like some of the clear bits.
Man.
But
that's just insanity.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
It's absolutely amazing.
What?
She is. She's crazy.
It doesn't look like it's too heavy either.
No. I mean,
she's got to know how to dial that in just right now, and where to print and where to do foams and stuff.
If you scroll down, there's another video of her starting it up. That's just what. That's so cool.
You're just showing off at this point. Like, it's so cool.
It does have smoke as well, but my poor little fog machine doesn't quite cover the entire shop. It's
and she did say she said that the
Terrible.
overall weight is 4
prop.
kilograms, including batteries.
Jeez.
I'm amazed it's that light, honestly.
I know.
It's
So good.
It's just insanity.
Yeah.
It's just absurd. It's so cool.
She's a master. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Next, what we got? Another Caleb's. Oh, this was Caleb and Polymaker.
Oh yeah, another one. That was no. Oh, shut up. So I felt so bad because all weekend I kept calling Filament Stories Filament Frenzy on accident, and I kept calling Protopasta Polymaker on accident. So, and it's one thing if you keep doing it on accident and correcting yourself when you're just in the middle of conversation. It's another thing when you're standing there with their logo tattooed on your arm, posing for a picture, and you ask. Posing for a picture with their entire company, and you ask the person who's taking the picture, "Can you see the Polymaker logo?"
Yeah, that was amazing.
Man.
Frenzy stories. I like that. It was funny. So good, but the Protopasta good peeps over there, Alex and the crew. We were ironically in the Polymaker booth all weekend too. So
yeah, I know that's what started crossing the wires in my head. You know.
Yeah. All right. Next, 124th miniature Bilbo Baggins Hobbit home for the upcoming show. Yes. Look at this.
What?
Wow.
How is this made?
Yep. I don't know.
I assume it's sort of printed base and
I don't know. No, I think that's wood. I don't think this is printed at all, which is very uncommon for our channel. But a welcome change of pace. Yeah. No, I think all of this is scratch built, dude.
Handmade, sculpted in clay, resin, balsa wood, foam board, moss, static grass, egg carton, acrylic glass, real bird feathers, paint, styrene, and the smell of freshly baked bread.
Did you say that? And the smell of fleshy bread?
Fleshy bread, yeah.
Gross.
I mean, that is proper.
It's cake.
Yeah, plot twist. It's cake.
That is proper handcrafting, isn't it?
Yeah. Super cool.
That's very cool.
Now we have someone else to get on the show because I
know, right?
Talk to her about making little miniature stuff like this. Look at that.
We do a lot of 3D printing stuff, but I'd like to get more hand built stuff like this.
Right?
What was that?
It was so good. Sorry, I was coughing. All right, I'm gonna keep rolling, but nice work.
Very, very cool.
Ultra. Is that Mecha Melissa? I think that's what
looks like it. Yeah.
Next, this is your vintage lunchbox on things now. Yes,
I love that.
Yes,
fantastic. Is the thermos meant to be printed too?
Yeah, I mean it looks like it.
But oh yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, look.
I love that.
Oh, it's really sweet.
I know. Oh, check that out too. It uses a piece of filament as
a filament hinge. Yeah. Filament pin hinge.
There you go.
That's awesome.
I love it. That stuff.
It definitely looks more classic in red though, for sure.
Yeah. It reminds me to be on a fire truck or something. Nice work. That's awesome. All right, CL3P 3D printing. Jesus. Revamp your travel snack game with our sleek 40 ounce Stanley Cup snack travel companion. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Fantastic idea.
Yeah.
We're gonna have them on the show here soon. They're on our guest list for the next few weeks.
Who? These guys?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Remember we were looking at their they had those really cool like can holders that look like steins and stuff.
Yeah.
I reached out to them immediately.
Nice. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, I've seen those.
Well,
I
here's
know
Yeah.
what you mean.
Here's a chicken.
I need to print more of the useful things
We need
that
this
are out
for-
there. I never print anything helpful. It's just robots and nonsense.
Yeah.
You know.
We need this for Sarah, please.
What, the chicken?
The chicken basket.
The chicken basket?
Yeah, you know.
I'll tell you the chicken story after we get off the show.
I think this is super cool though. I
Yeah,
my
I love
packs
that.
in there. I got them all ready
It's
to
practical.
go.
It's smart. This is the kind of thing that you take to like a local maker fair or something like that, and you can't
Mm.
keep them on the table. You know, like it's functional. It kind of works along with a recent trend.
Yeah.
You know.
Comes with a bag of nuts.
Yep. Yeah.
Why not?
Okay. What's the next thing?
All right, Christoph released 2 shadow boxes today. Star Wars Duel shadow box and
Ooh.
and the
I
second
printed one of these.
Yeah.
I don't have it. I gave it to a friend.
Um
That looks so cool.
yeah.
That's sick.
So let's see. I thought he had a Oh, they're both really cool, Christoph.
So these are what we were talking about earlier. The shadow boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Where that top panel
And they're in layers.
pulls off. Yeah, and there's separate layers that just slide in channels, and you
Here.
can swap them out and stuff.
Here.
So cool.
Yeah,
I'll
there's an
I'll
example.
just jump to this one right away. Oh, that's not what I
Closed it.
Ah,
do. Here you go. No. There we go.
It's such a
He
cool.
did- this is a new Fallout one that he just
Mm.
released as well.
God, watching it go together is awesome.
I know, it's so satisfying.
This is a lot of slides in this one too.
I know his the biggest box he has 10 layer slots to it, and I'm rarely making ones that are more than like 5 or 6. But this one looks like it's using 9, maybe. Yeah,
There you go.
that is so
That's so cool.
insane.
It's such a great way to work with printing.
Yeah,
You know, to make something clever and really pretty and also easy to make.
Right.
It's really clever.
Nice. Awesome.
I
work
might
there.
make that one actually. I just finished the show.
I love it. I had to print this Lego Space Guy. He can be found here on Maker.
I love me a classic space minifig.
Lego Space. Cost.
Adorable. Love it.
Fantastic.
All right, next. Local
I wish
Maker
we knew what
Michigan.
scale it was. There's
Toys
no
for
banana.
Tots. Toys for Tots. There we go. Nice.
Fantastic.
God, the
Another
spaceman
make a
just-
brick.
The spaceman just reminded me. If you ever seen that, I can't remember where I saw it. There was a print you could do, which was a little Lego minifigure, but the guy had put in like ludicrous articulation. It was like double knee joints and like
Oh.
elbows and like
Yeah.
3 ab joints and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not seen that. That's fantastic.
I'll see if I can find it.
That's funny.
It's
Another
very
black powder design.
We're back to black powder.
And we have A1 mini still learning. Zombie Hedgehog helped me tune my profile. There we go.
More of this great painting.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Much better than I could ever do. So nice work on that.
Really, really nice.
Black Powder Creations. Zombie, nice work helping out. All right. Another CL.
wait.
We just showed this. The chicken.
Who's you? Wait, JPC guy 89. He says I got sidetracked. Did any of my makes get it on the show? Never mind. That's me. Which one is you? Sometimes the chat's a little
Is
behind.
it the chicken?
I don't know. I just made that.
I don't
up.
know. The chicken. Yeah, it's the chicken.
Yeah, the chicken's there. Okay, Sarah Oakley. I did a Hue Forge print again in Polymaker.
Oh, that's black powder.
Oh,
That's awesome.
nice work. Nice work.
Nice.
This is let's see. Here you go. It has the Falcon coming out of.
Oh, this is the Hue Forge,
yeah.
cyanide sugar combo, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Hue Forge, Sam?
Yep.
I'm not actually.
Oh,
It's like
man.
filament painting, I think is
Magic?
kind of what they call it. Yeah, it's magic basically. It's this amazing software that takes photos and images that you pump into it and figures out how to print it in multicolor layers, but use the I forget the term that they use, but basically the transparency of the filament colors to create a range of colors to make it look like a photo,
wow.
basically. But it's all just printed as a relief painting, basically, or
And
relief
I
carving.
Okay, well, I've definitely got to look into that then. That sounds sounds
I
wild.
I bought
I
a
know.
TD1.
Did you?
That gives you the TD of the filament. So you plug it into HueForge and you get it going.
Yeah.
I haven't used it yet.
Light
But,
transmission distance. That's what it's
Ian
called.
and I are working on some stuff, and it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, they
and
have a
Ian and
device where
Rogers-
you can take any filament that you have and put it in the device, and it'll calculate the light transmission distance for any filament and just plug it into the software for you.
Okay,
I know.
I've definitely got to look into this. This is awesome. That's wild.
I know. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm starting to have ideas.
This
So-
year's shot glass design from Andrew Rogers. There you go.
Oh, that's the new one.
Yep.
I love it.
Nuka-Cola.
Very much approve.
Yeah. Awesome. I can't wait to hopefully get one. If I'm lucky enough
I hope I get
on
to
the
go.
list, I'm in.
I hope Sarah and I can
Amen.
get there this year. I don't want to miss it. Sarah's in the living room. She said, "Let's go."
So
just
real
barely
quick.
came through.
Yeah. We kind of heard it.
Oh yeah, there's
Um,
HueForge.
So
Be careful.
Doing a lot of cool stuff.
Be
but-
careful, because we're going to end up with transformers that somehow have like HueForge
Oh, that would
filament
be-
painting involved on them.
Yes.
Because if there's one thing that my Transformers don't do, it's take long enough.
Yeah.
Look at these things, though.
Yeah.
I'm just
Wow.
Well, here's a good example. I actually have almost this exact print, but such depth, and then it's like millimeters.
I know.
That's madness.
I feel like it feels like something I would watch as a kid on like PBS or something,
Right.
where they're trying to
it's
teach
feel
you about
So many
illusions.
different ones.
This
you
feels
can
like a
do.
trick.
I know, exactly. My
Yeah.
eyes don't want to believe it.
The
Wow.
pizza's there.
Oh yeah, the
What
pizza.
the
That
hell?
pizza. That pizza is an example of the separate layers as
Yep.
it builds itself up.
So it starts black, adds the red, then it
Mhm.
How smart do you have to be to work something like this out?
Yes.
I know.
He's Steve, right? He's
Yeah,
an awesome dude.
and we
super
hung
cool
out with him
guy.
almost the entire weekend when we were
Yeah.
at RMRRF. He was at dinner with us on Friday night, and he's just a super chill
Very
dude. He's
cool,
like
yeah.
7 feet tall too.
He was super into like this stuff right now, and I mean like the stuff that he's doing. Ian is actually
Mhm.
like is like a mad scientist. And
Not Ian Douglas.
No, it's not Ian Douglas. Where
Ian
is
McKellen?
Ian? It's
Yeah.
what's he under? Now I'm gonna.
Ajax.
That's right.
Mhm.
Oh, maybe.
Isn't it Ajax 3D?
I'm just bookmarking HueForge for later.
Anyways. No, we're like
We've started a new problem.
anyways, yeah, it's basically craziness, and it's so much fun, and anyone can do it on any printer because you don't need to have multicolor or anything. It layers it. So
Yeah,
you do-
that's
it
the
actually
part
tells
is-
you what layer to program in stops, and it stops and lets you switch filament at certain layers.
And it's not like you're
Um,
switching filaments
there you go.
constantly either. It's just like at a certain
No, it's
layer.
a layer by
okay,
layer,
put that
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a TD1 here. That's I actually purchased one that was done. You can actually make this if you want to source it and do it yourself. But you basically plug it in, you insert your filament, and it's super cool.
Because there's a specific weird math that my brain doesn't understand.
Yeah.
With the numbers that you have to plug in so that the software knows
Mm-hmm.
like the transmission distance,
Mm.
the light transmission distance of the filament. But that thing, you just throw the filament in there and it just plugs it into HueForge.
And now they're doing this color match thing where you throw the picture in and it tells you the best colors to use to get,
To get the color you're looking for.
kinda,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Super cool. I mean, anyways, HueForge flicking amazing, and it's super affordable to get into. And something else that they're still doing, Polymaker. If you get a
Oh yeah. If you get a personal
license, which is cheap,
it's $18.
Polymaker will match you how much you spend on your license for a gift card for filament.
Oh,
So there's different levels of the license, right? And if you, depending on what you do, they will match you so you can order filament from their site.
okay, that's very good.
It's such a cool thing. So,
Anyways, that's a deal I can get.
Yeah.
Like it's a UK thing, so often things are weird, and I'm looking for that.
But I know we've kept you up for like 2 a.m. here. You got to work in the morning, and
I should have warned you that we used to do weekly episodes and try to keep it with around an hour, and now we're doing every other week. So we just kind of like let it slide as long as it ends up sliding. I should have warned you that we'd be on for like 2 hours. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Like I say, I'm working from home tomorrow. I sort of allowed a leeway. It's no problem. I can roll out of this chair. Well, it's not. Obviously, I can lean back. When you go straight to bed and then just lean back up in about 7 hours to go to a meeting. It just works. The system just works. What can I say?
Yeah, it's very efficient.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
You know,
I haven't showered in weeks. No,
it's only £2,800 a month. London, France. It's great.
Oh, there you go. That's not expensive at all.
Yeah, and you don't even have a bathroom. No. That's so cool, man. We really appreciate you being here.
Big time.
I
appreciate you taking the time to actually respond to my message and be like, yeah, I'm on board with hanging out. Because like I said, I've been a fan of your stuff for a while.
I'm famously just really bad at responding on social media as well. But no, I thank you for inviting me. It's been really good fun. And obviously I love, chatting about this stuff because I've put enough hours into it. So,
no, we appreciate it. And we can tell how much passion you have for it, which is absolutely amazing. So if you're watching still or you're watching in the future, check out Sam's stuff. The links are in the description below. And before we go, one more time, like, who are you? What do you do? And most importantly, where can we find your stuff?
I'm Sam. I make 3D printed Transformers, and when they're ready by my own arcane standards, I put the files out there. If you want to see what I'm working on and updates and things, check out my Twitter. That's where most of my stuff is. I'm most active at Sam_makes_toys. And it'll be Sam Makes Toys or Sam's Forge on Cults is where I upload the things that I make available. I've got some free stuff on there, some paid, and I haven't uploaded much in a while, but I actually hope to have a few bits going up over the next month or two. And it'll continue to be, I'm going to put some stuff up free and some paid, because I want to keep making some free stuff because,
and I would like to have an I told you so moment. Offset Maker Lab says you're awesome and can't wait to build one of your models. And then another member of Offset says, or more than one. they're all hanging out in there, and I told you they're going to jump up on. They're going to love this.
They're going to make tripods leg.
Well, I would. There is nothing that brings me more joy than people making and enjoying the things that I've designed. So if you make one, I hope they make it, and I hope they enjoy it.
Yeah. Also, let's see what else. Maker Viking. It's only 3 a.m. Yes. Jeez. It's already
2 a.m.
Where is
2 a.m. I'm fine.
Maker
Thomas,
Viking.
where's he at?
Where do you think he is? Maker Viking.
I was going to assume Norway or somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm trying to guess by time zones.
He's Maker Viking. He's in New York. No.
I'm ready to go. You guys ready? Let's call it.
2 weeks from now, we have what is it? CL3D printing.
Yep.
CL3D printing.
That's who we were just talking about.
And then following that, Ember Prototypes will be with us. And following that,
we have Tyler West.
Tyler West on the June 17th. Yeah, Tyler West will be hooking up, helping out, hanging out, whatever we're doing. And then
Offset sent $5 for the Venator fund. I'm guessing for that giant Lego Venator set.
Yeah.
We were talking about that before we left Colorado.
Nice.
We got a bunch of people that we're currently working on.
Norway are on a ship on the Atlantic. Anyways. Yeah, and then I believe into July. I'm looking at dates still. I need to check my email.
Well, we're gonna get
I believe Zach Friedman will be with us.
Stefan from CNC Kitchen should be joining again soon.
Yeah. So,
Zombie Hedgehog. I've been talking to 3D Printing World about joining. 3D Printy is going to be joining here soon as well. Big Jano.
We got tons of people.
Data Industries. Yeah.
We will get we'll post soon. We'll just do like a calendar of coming up. That'd be a good thing to do soon.
What's funny is like we went to Remurf and just started like rekindling connections with all these people, and I started going, yeah, it'd be nice to have you on the show, and they're like, yeah, it'd be awesome to come on, and I'm like, it's gonna like
it's packing out the roster.
Yeah, exactly, because we're only doing episodes twice a month now. We're like booked for months now, so I'm like.
Start doing roundtable episodes where you get 6 people.
Exactly.
Ooh, I would love it.
I still want to do. I still want to get Frankly Built and like Tim O'Sullivan and like I still want to get a collection of like the Iron Man 3D printing cosplay community together and call it a house party episode. Still think that would be perfect.
It would be a lot of fun. All right, we got to get you to bed. You need to shut your lights off and lean back. No, we appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking your time and sharing your passion with us, because it was truly awesome. I am probably gonna have to print one of your models and then give it to my 4-year-old. I'll let you know how it goes.
Look,
Torture test.
If you could single-handedly make me go from once every 9 months to once every 18 months, hasn't passed the 4-year-old test yet.
Or once every 2. You never know.
This toy can only be printed at 100% ABS infill.
Oh man, how does your
looks like you need to get that nylon resin again?
But Zombie's birthday Saturday, big birthday stream. There you go. Big zombie birthday.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Definitely.
I'm excited.
All right. Everybody have a great night. Thank you so much for being here with us. Right here on Hot Makes. Don't forget, find the cool stuff. Hashtag Hot Makes on all the things.
I just realized I haven't been running the... Oh!
And apparently you've been shut down. All right. Caleb been put out in the dark now. The chicken is thawed. Dinner's ready.
My key light battery died.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. We really appreciate it. Sam, we'll be right back with you. Everybody else, we will see you in 2 weeks right here on Hot Makes, 6 p.m. Central, and CL 3D Printing, I believe, will be next. So see you guys later.
All right.
Bye, everybody. Bye.